One of the most important things with wallpaper, after you've made your decision and you're getting ready to install it, if you're doing it yourself, is what they call booking, which is a part of the process that you do after you either dip the wallpaper in water if it's pre-pasted, or if it is unpasted, you would apply the paste on the back using a foam roller cover. If you're doing it as a pre-paste, you completely immerse your wallpaper strip in water, typically for about 30 seconds. As you pull it out, you let the water drain off, and when you have your strip about halfway out, you fold one end to the approximate midpoint. You pull the rest of it out until let the water drain off, and then you fold that in to the midpoint. That way all your paste is on the inside, your pattern is all on the outside. Then you loosely fold this, you set it aside for about 3 to 5 minutes, and that is what the manufacturers term the booking process. Once you've timed it out, you want to take it to the wall, unfold the top half of the wallpaper, take it to the wall, smooth it out using a smoothing tooler, get it all smooth, make sure you don't have any bubbles out. Then when you get to the middle point, you want to drop the other half, continue smoothing it out until you get to your baseboard. Once you've got everything smoothed out on the wall, you want to go back with your razor knife and trim any excess off at the top and the bottom, and then you proceed to your next strip. These days they are also coming out with wallpapers that are unpasted, and they will tell you specifically to paste the wall, not the paper. If that is what your particular vendor and your book tells you to do, you want to make sure that you do it. The most important thing you can do once you've selected your wallpaper is to make sure that your walls are properly prepared. If you have a fairly smooth wall, you just want to make sure it's clean and primed and you're ready to go, but you want to use what they call a latex/acrylic water-based primer. You do not want to use an oil-based primer if you're going to be putting a wallpaper up. A heavy-duty lining paper is what they call blank stock. It's just white, it's very heavy, it's made to go over problem wall surfaces, and what they mean by that is something that is a textured wall, a cinder block wall, which we really don't have much of in Texas as far as people wallpapering over it. That's more an eastern thing. But the advantage to this is that once you've installed it using what they call a heavy-duty clay-based adhesive, this is going to be your wall surface. It's pretty permanent, so it's not something you can put up and then change on a whim, because once you put it up, if you put it up properly, it is not going to go anywhere. That's the whole idea of it. And that's one easy way to deal with a problem wall. The other way is to get what they call regular joint compound or sheetrock mud. You take the joint compound, sheetrock mud, basically you skim float the entire surface of your wall. And what that does, it fills in all the craters, it covers up any imperfections. You let that dry a day or so, and you go back and you what they call wet sand it. You take a big sponge, spritz a small area at a time, smooth it all out on the wall, and let that dry, and then prime it once again with your water-based primer. And then you're ready to install your wallpaper. If you're having your wallpaper installed by a professional, they should be doing the same thing. So if you get a quote from someone like us, or even anybody else who does an installation, make sure that you agree with what their prep is going to be, because that's the most important thing to determine how good your job is going to look when it's done.